Hello, welcome to STH English. They say that a day can be a very long time in the history of the subcontinental politics. Well, this is certainly proven to be so true. In the last 24 hours, the matrix of regional politics has changed decisively. The matrix of regional security has changed decisively, and it is out there in public. You would not see much change in terms of who's in command, say in India or in Pakistan or in Washington, but the way these command structures have been reconfigured by their own statements is truly amazing. As a student of international relations, I find it both fascinating and baffling, as well as very exciting to explain what is happening here. Let's start with bare facts. If a tweet or a social media post can change the direction of global and regional politics, it is this post that you're looking at. Donald Trump talking about India and slapping India with additional penalties. This text has to be read carefully. Not that Donald Trump writes beautiful prose, but in terms of articulating a policy and putting down or putting out his message, he is unparalleled in communication. Simple in form, but very effective in messaging. So here you have Donald Trump telling the Indians that your tariffs are far too high, complaint number one. Complaint number two, an additional complaint is this is among the highest in the world. And complaint number three is that they are strenuous and obnoxious, non-monetary trade barriers as well. So there's a trade tariff issue, and then there is hidden taxes that you charge on American goods. Then he also talks about India buying military equipment from Russia. This is complaint number three. The scale of Indian purchases from Russia has really been reduced, probably half of the scale that they used to have like 20 years ago. Right now, if you look at all the purchases combined, so they buy like $26 billion worth of equipment from Russia, 16 billion already bought, 10 billion being planned. The other defense sources of purchase are France and Israel, significant one. But Americans are not there. Military equipment from Russia, and then Russia's largest buyer of energy, India and China. That's a big issue for America. Why? Because Donald Trump thinks that Russia makes money from these purchases and pours that money into the war machine that is hammering and battering Ukraine. Ukraine has become such a sore thumb as far as Europe is concerned, has become such a red rag as far as Trump and Putin relations that used to be really good at one point in time are concerned at this point in time. So three complaints altogether, but if you were to throw in the defense and energy issues, they go up to 4 or 5. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is very interesting. This is all in caps. So when you want to highlight something for people who can't read what we call small caps, Trump has a tendency to highlight the more important part of his tweet. So he goes all caps on this one. He says all things not good. He's not leaving anything to imagination. He's saying all things are not good. He's not saying tariffs are not good. He's not saying defense purchases are not good. He's not saying energy is not good. He's not saying these are not good things and these are good things. He's saying all good things are not good, and all in caps. India will therefore be paying a tariff of 25%. For those, again, of Moody's aging squad, he has again put all of this in all caps so that readability isn't an issue here. Plus a penalty for the above. We don't know what that penalty is going to be, probably additional tariffs or sector-wise tariffs, we do not know, but he has certainly put that in. And we know that of late he says what he means and he means what he says. And then he goes in his typical Trump fashion to drive the knife deeper of humiliation and then start to twist it when he says, thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again, sign of exclamation. This is the Trump tweet. The other tweet is even more interesting, and I can understand why Modi government is aflame with problems. He's essentially responding to the post by ex-Russian President Medvedev, and but at the same time also laying bare what he thinks of India. Leaving aside his engagement with the Russians, Uh, let's see what he is telling the Indians. And it's a very unkind cut, unkindest cut of them all, if you were to ask me. I don't care what India does with Russia. They can take their dead economies down together. Now, that is a big insult to the Indians, because Indians have always positioned themselves as once a shackled giant has been unshackled, once a potential has now become a full power, once a country that used to be talked about as the probable regional player has now qualified to become a full member of the Security Council. So Indians think that they have arrived. Indians think that they have a stake in global affairs. Indians think, at least the Moody type of Indians think, that they really need to be taken seriously. And here is Trump telling the Indians that your economy is the same as that of Russia, and you are going down, buddies, in quotes and in an ironic way. That's not going to go down very well in India at all, because it clashes directly with the image that Modi has been trying to cultivate about India. MAGA is Make America Great Again, and Modi thought it is MEGA, which is Modi and India are great again. Now that is tatters in rags as we speak. That image is shattered. American president doesn't care what is happening to India, doesn't care what is happening to their economy, and in fact is forecasting that you guys are together. Bracketing Putin with Modi is the worst thing that Trump could have said to India from Indian point of view, because Putin is now a declared punching bag for Trump. So when you put India and Russia together and tie them through the knot of economies going down, you are laying down a strategic framework which goes beyond tariffs, which goes beyond energy reserves, which goes beyond oil sales, which goes beyond non-monetary and hidden tariffs. It goes beyond all of that, and it tells the Indians that, frankly, you stand with Putin as far as I'm concerned. Now, is it resonating in India? Does Modi even understand what is being said? Now, I'm going to show you a meme which captures the irony of a chaiwala making it to the post of the Prime Minister. Again, nothing against the chaiwalas. I wish all chaiwalas good luck, and I wish their businesses boom, and I wish that these guys turn themselves into big brands. But Modi's rise to power from chaiwala and the path that he took is littered with blood, and is littered with fraud, and is littered with cheap populist rhetoric that somehow chimed with a desperate Indian public, and he rose to the heights of power and became the most elected Prime Minister after Nehru in Indian history. Now, that chaiwala is being shown to be so ignorant that he doesn't even hear what Trump is saying. So one part of the meme tells you that Modi is very happy. He's saying that tarif par tarif kar rahe hain, praise after praise. Praise is tarif in Urdu, but it kind of sounds like tariff. So he says that tarif after tarif, tarif after tarif. And Trump is saying this is not tarif after tarif, silly, in brackets. This is tariff after tariff, tariff after tariff. So these are memes that are being created, and then Congress is saying that you don't get it. You're being squeezed out of space. This is the worst and most calamitous foreign policy disaster that has taken place.
Yes, he's right. I mean, everybody knows this, except the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. Everybody knows that the Indian economy is a dead economy. I'm glad that President Trump has stated a fact. What more do you, why are you asking this question?
लेकिन 25% tariff लगाया plus penalty भी लगा दिया.
It is a dead economy. Are you people not aware of this? आपको ये मालूम नहीं है कि इंडियन इकोनॉमी डेड इकोनॉमी है? कोई confusion है आप में?
In a way, they are right as well. India, where it stood like 3 years ago, could not have imagined that they would be bracketed with Putin's Russia, and their economy would be called a dead economy that is going down, that America will be slapping trade penalties on them, that on the other side of it, and now I'm really speeding it up, the other side of the border, Pakistan will be jubilant, ecstatic. Pakistan is having a ball of a time, as it were. And look at the tweet about Pakistan. It's without hype, but it has significant parts to it. Trump is talking about having concluded a trade deal with Pakistan, and more important, because the volume of trade with America is quite small and it is easy to manage. But the more important thing is Pakistan's massive oil reserves. Again, O for oil is in cap and R for reserves is in caps. And then he talks about we in the process of choosing the oil company that will lead this partnership. He's not talking about this to be a business deal. He's making it sound that there's a partnership. Partnership has a long-term durability built into an interaction. A deal can be changed the next month. So there's a partnership. Does Pakistan have oil and gas? Much to the dismay of detractors who think that this is all hogwash fiction. This is like Harry Potter's novel where witches fly and people just disappear and reappear as different beings at the same time. So this is almost like an AI generated alternate universe. Pakistan, oil reserves. Let me just tell you that Pakistan has, in recent research shown to be remarkably endowed with oil and gas potential. Gas potential is proven. The areas where Pakistan's oil and gas reserves are found, and this is something which is established by research. So it's not really a potential that exists on paper. So there is the Indus Basin area, which has a proven petroleum area with significant oil and gas reserves. We know that the basin extends from the land to the Arabian Sea shelf and is considered one of the most promising areas for hydrocarbon exploration. We also have the offshore areas, loaded with oil and gas. And there are recent discoveries that suggest that Pakistan's territorial waters may hold significant oil and gas reserves, potentially ranking among the world's largest. The offshore area are further divided into the Indus offshore basin and the Makran offshore basin. So there are these research papers that tell you that Pakistan has a lot of potential as well. Then, of course, we have proven areas where oil already is being extracted and drilled. We have the Potwar Plateau, one of the oldest oil producing regions, by the way, in Pakistan, with the Toot oil field being the notable example. For those who do not know our own oil and gas history, just to let you know that since the 60s, this area has been producing oil and gas. Then you have Lower Sindh, another area rich in oil and gas. You've got Sui gas field. Of course, we have Gwadar. In terms of the existing oil fields, you've got the Toot oil field, you've got the Dabu Creek one, and then you have the Pakan one. In terms of volume, it is very large. How large? Not large in comparison to what the Saudis have or the Qataris have or the Iranians have. We have about, according to one research, 9 billion barrels of petroleum oil reserves. And this is suggested not by our own research. This is suggested by the United States Energy Information Administration. The same organization also tells us that about 105 trillion cubic feet of natural gas reserves are still found in Pakistan. And altogether, just to let you know, Pakistan is probably the world's fourth largest holder of oil and gas reserves. That's a lot of gas. Okay, just to give you a money sense of it, 9 billion barrels of oil is approximately 143 billion tons of oil equivalent, which is the TOE. If daily consumption of globe is around 100 million barrels per day, 9 billion barrels would last for about 90 days of approximately 3 months. So Pakistan's oil can feed the entire world's energy needs for 3 months. Now convert this to economic value. If you were to keep the oil price around, say, $70 dollars per barrel. 9 billion barrels of oil would be worth approximately $630 billion. That's the kind of money value that Pakistan's 9 billion barrels of oil established through research can carry. Pakistan's energy needs are also very interesting. Pakistan's consumption is about 450,000 barrels per day. 9 billion barrels would meet Pakistan's oil needs for about 20,000 days, or approximately 54 years. If Pakistan were to simply use this oil for its own domestic consumption for 54 years, Pakistan does not have to import a drop of oil from abroad. Imagine the kind of money Pakistan can save. If Pakistan were to use half of this oil for sale and half for its own consumption, for 25 years we don't have to import a drop of oil, and you can reduce $630 billion worth to half, and would know about $300 billion worth of oil Pakistan has. Now, all of this, of course, is subject to exploration. I'm just telling you the tip of the big potential that Pakistan has. Not all of this is going to materialize. This will not happen tomorrow. But in terms of the reality of this oil exploration, it does exist. It can be explored, it can be sold, and it can be used for Pakistan purposes. So that's the kind of potential you're looking at. So when Trump says that, who knows, India may be buying oil from Pakistan, or Pakistan may be selling oil to India, that must really cut Modi to the quick. Because what Trump is telling them is this, that you have missed the boat. Pakistan is going to thrive. You will be dependent on oil, and Pakistan will be abundant with oil. You will be buying oil, and Pakistan will be selling oil. That's the kind of matrix that has emerged in the last 24 hours, and that is how drastically the world around us has changed. It has changed for Modi for the worse, changed for Pakistan for the best, and Trump is really riding the new wave of tariff policy success.